Hello everybody and Happy New Year to everyone out there. This is Daniel. It's day 1 in month 1 2017 and I was trying to import an avatar just two days in a row right now, and I had problems with this avatar because it's a very nice avatar I found in XnaLara, and it is custom made and it's very beautiful. I'm gonna show you that avatar right now, and then I'm gonna show you the problems I had importing her into iClone. First thing, let's open that. And we go to our sexy. There were most of my sexy avatars I downloaded, and this girl here is the avatar I wanted to import. Let's open her. That takes a bit. There we go. So this avatar is very beautiful, and what I liked of her is this steampunk style with this backpack here, the staff, and just the beautiful face she has. And I wanted that avatar importing into iClone to make an animation movie about her, well, another movie, a short film. Not really sure what exactly I'm gonna do, but probably I'm gonna make her fly with this thing because it's awesome. Thing is, first thing I encountered was when I was importing her into 3ds Max, that she has, you can see the list on the side here and you can see all the bones, but once you import her into 3ds Max, you're gonna encounter a problem with bones, and that is too much bones and most of them unused. So let's just do that and import her. Wait a minute. Let's import her into 3ds Max using my converter and go directly on this one, Emily. I'm gonna get her here and open her up. This is gonna take a bit because, well, you're gonna see why it's gonna take so long to load this avatar and what is the problem I had. And you probably will encounter as well many times when you download a custom made avatar in XnaLara. So I'm gonna be back until this thing is loaded. Here I am again, and she's loaded, and as you can see already at the first time is, what the hell is this? What is going on here? Does she have 1, 2, 3, up to 3 hands on each side? Then you go down here and see 1 feet, 2, 3. So 3. So there's a maximum of 3 skeletons fusioned in this avatar, and they're all together. So let's just go ahead here and okay, and hide the geometry. So let's change the look to perspective and just turn around, as you can see. And if you select those bones over here, it's gonna say to you unused. All unused bones that she does not use. So you can actually go ahead and find the right bone by selecting in when you want to T-pose her for importing her into 3D Exchange. But once you actually do that, you're gonna encounter one more problem, and that's I'm gonna show you that now so you can see that problem. Alright, so I'll be back in a second. So I'm in 3D Exchange now, and I'm gonna open Emily Steampunk. I'm gonna open her up, just wait a second. So she's now imported in here into 3D Exchange 6. I said that in Spanish. 6, sorry. Sometimes my head goes weird. So, as you can see, there's no textures in here, but that's my fault because I created a generic item mesh without any textures applied. But normally, if you export this this avatar here, you're gonna have one problem, and that is in the actual file of the avatar, the texture maps, there are some in DDS format, others in Targa. The problem with that is the DDS format is not read by iClone, so probably 5 or 6 textures are not going to be blended in. You have to load them in. In order to avoid that, you can convert those to PNG and convert it into XnaLara in another format. I will showcase that. But first I want to show you this problem, and after this I'm going to showcase you how to resave an avatar and convert the textures completely into PNG. So once you load them in here in 3D Exchange, those textures are going to be applied. The only thing you may have to apply is some normal maps or some specularity maps, because they usually do not apply by themselves. Sometimes they do, other times they don't. That depends on, I don't know, on the avatar or something, or is something further too far away from my logical understanding, I can say. So let's just go ahead and take a look at this. Go right ahead here and go to convert to non-standard. As you can see, you have this. This is a problem. So we have all visible, and as you can see, if you go to the list here, you just scroll down here, and there we go. We're starting already here. All those bones here are unused, and there are lots and lots of more unused bones here, and the list is very large. It's like 3 times the list of a normal skeleton bones for an avatar, because somehow they're inside here and they weren't removed. They were removed in XnaLara or hide it, but once you export them into 3D Exchange, well, to 3ds Max and then to 3D Exchange, they will stay there. They will not go away. So you can assign the bones, only those who are used, with no problem, because they are there, like the root hips over here, and you can activate her and pose her. The problem is, well, first let's just load a profile, because I saved a profile up for her, Emily here. As you can see, it's there. Now she's already activated. Now let's load that in. As you can see, it's working. And she's perfectly working, and you can animate her. Problem is, as you can see already here, the 3D Exchange program reads all the unused bones here as well as the those who are in white, they're not read, so there's no problem. But those who are in blue are red. They are in blue. They can be manipulated, but they have no weights, and they do nothing. They're just useless. They're there. The problem is a computer has to calculate, and every bone is one part to calculate more. So if there are too many useless bones around there, your computer's going to calculate all those bones when you move them, and it can be overburdened. So what you can have is stuttering and other problems with that when you once assign the face bones and others. So once you load this avatar into iClone 6, you may encounter the problem is that it will take a long time to load in, and you encounter stuttering on your PC or slowing down, depends on what kind of PC you have, of course. And those unused bones are just a burden on the avatar we really don't need. And this is a big problem, because the avatar weighs way too much with all those bones assigned and useless, just useless. So this is the problem, and I encounter a solution for that, and I'm going to showcase that now. Okay, I'm going to be back in just a second. So I am back right now, and let's just go and open up our XnaLara. Oh, my fault. I opened up twice. I already had it open. Silly me. Let's go and open up the Emily again. I'll be back in a second. Here I am again, and I got the avatar loaded in. And the reason is why I cut out so much is because I don't want you to wait all the time I have to wait. So you don't have to suffer this. Also, when I'm recording, it's gonna take a bit longer because the recording program is taking memory of my computer and also hard drive capacity. So it's normal that it takes usually longer than I take when I'm not recording. Anyway, now what we're gonna do now is we're going to export and modify here up here in this panel. Open that and get to directly up here and save generic item. So this window is going to pop up here, and it's a little bigger. I was useless to make this bigger because it's not going to change. So what we want to do is we could go directly to this place here and say remove unused bones, and that does it. Actually, it removes the unused bone. However, I encountered the problem with that is that it removes the unused bones, but sometimes it removes bones you're actually using. Maybe those bones are assigned correctly, or maybe the weight maps are that. So what can happen if you go and remove unused bones is that the program deletes a bone unused assigned to a normal bone, and the weight is then completely messed up. Meaning is the normal bone doesn't work like they should anymore, and you're gonna have problem then later on, because in this case I did it and I imported her, I posted her, and once I assigned the bones and activated the face, the middle of the face here, as you can see, let's go here, the middle of the face. Oops. I always confuse the controls because I'm used to work in DAS and 3D Exchange, and these controls here are very simple. So the middle of this face here, where the bones are for the head to modify them, they weren't assigned to any piece. So when I moved the head, that stands still. The head moved, but the face didn't move when I applied this option here. And it wasn't the first time that happened. So I came to the conclusion is that it is not a good idea to remove the unused bone with XnaLara. It probably end up in a mess, and we don't want that. So with that being said, let's go to here, and we're gonna save this up as a generic item mesh, and we're gonna click this here, convert to PNG. And what it does is the texture is going to be converted into PNG. Meaning is if those are DDS textures inside there, they're going to be converted to PNG as well. And so once you load them into 3D Exchange, they're going to be assigned automatically. And that is what we want. So we're going to leave the rest as it is and just click OK. Now we're going to select a new. Let's just get out of here. Go ahead here and create a new folder, call her Emily Steampunk, and save that as an XPS app or a generic item mesh. I prefer generic item mesh because I encountered many problems with broken meshes in XPS files. So let's make a item mesh, I guess. Huh. Generic item point mesh safe. Sorry, I was checking because the dog was barking and I wanted to find out why he was barking. We have a lot of dogs, so always someone is barking. That is what happens with dogs, and you have to live with it. Anyway, what I wanted to explain, I saved that up, and now let's remove the model, and to make sure it is saved up correctly and we load it in correctly, we just go ahead and load it in again here and see if everything is alright. There we go. So let's check this. Looks okay to me. Textures are loaded in correctly. I don't see anything messed up. Okay, let's remove her. No, don't add a model again. There we go. Let's go to our 3ds Max and find ourselves the XnaLara converter. Go to home here. There we go. Loading that in, and now before we import our avatar, we go to hide unused bones. Click that here in the menu and import. Now let's search for Emily Steampunk generic item mesh and open. Now, as usual, I'm gonna pause this for a second. Here we are again, and as you can see, avatar is loaded in, and well, we got ourselves Emily here with the textures, and she seems to work fine. And just give me a second here. Done. Sometimes I got loading problems. Probably have to change my hard drive later on because it's kind of getting slow. So we got the avatar here, and what I'm going to do now is, first of all, as you can see here, hiding the geometry, it hided all the unused bones, and we only got the bones we actually going to need to export them. Problem is, I'm going to tell you that later, but first what I'm going to do now is I'm going to T-pose her, and I'm not going to showcase that because I have already tutorials for the correct T-posing in my channel. I'm gonna take a link down below if you want to know that, and you can take a look. Also, I'm gonna leave links to all my XnaLara tutorials I have out there. There's gonna be a couple out there, import tutorials, fix tutorials, and stuff like that. Everything about XnaLara you may want to know, already know. So I'm gonna be back in just a second. Almost done. There's one thing I want to show you before I finish this T-pose is when you encounter an avatar who has the hands like this and you see the thumb is like this down here, you might want to move this. First of all, let's hide the geometry and move the thumb here a little bit up like this and like that, because I found out if I do this like this, once I assign the bones and make the animation to test the hands creating a fist, you can see that the thumb, instead of weirdly going down and deforming, it actually looks better and gets better together with the fist, forming it more naturally, and it's looking better, because if not, it's gonna look completely messed up if the fingers are the thumb is not correctly assigned. So just manipulate the bones a little bit like this freely before you export her, like that, and there we go. That should do it. Now I got her T-pose, as you can see, and she is in front view, and let's go to perspective and I have to select her again. And now I can look around. Alright, that being done, let's export her. And rename her, but just say Emily Steampunk FBX, save it up. And I normally save up right now in the let's go to advanced option. Let's go down here. I save up as an ACE instead of a binary, because I encountered some errors if I save up in a binary. There may be some errors you will encounter with some bones or something not correctly assigned, and the program would say it will not export it like that, and probably you may encounter some problems later and open it. Anyway, mostly if I export her in ACE, there's no error message whatsoever in many avatars, but that depends on what kind of avatar you have. But for me it's working right now, so I go with it. Anyway, click on K and export her. As you can see, it says done, and there was no error whatsoever, no error message and nothing. Alright, let's close this up here, because let's close it up, because I already had it saved up from before, and go directly to our 3D Exchange and open Emily Steampunk. As usual, I'm gonna pause. So we are back in 3D Exchange, and as you can see already, all the textures on her are applied and they're working. That takes a lot of work away from you, and you might only have to assign the normal or specularity maps in the material list here, just by selecting that. As you can see, we have the normal maps here and the specularity map is not here. We go down here as well. This has no normal map, or it needs to be assigned, or it's probably missing. But as you can see, there's a lot of work already done, and that's way better. But there's one more thing I want to show you, and that you're gonna see right now. Convert to non-standard, and as you can see, oops, the bones are still there. So what did I fix? Well, actually I didn't fix anything. I wanted to showcase this to you so I can show you what I did wrong and what you did probably wrong when you exported the avatar in FBX, and that is gonna be the following. So I'm gonna showcase you that now in just a second. So back again in 3ds Max, and we have our avatar here, T-Post, and yeah, what we're going to do now is do the same thing again. We're going to export her. As you can see, the bones are hidden and there are no extra bones here. So what you're going to do now is something a little bit different, and you're going to see it makes a big difference. What we're going to do is, being all selected here in the filter up here, and select all the avatar like this. Make sure the bones are going to be assigned as well, and selected everything with geometry and bones and weights and everything all. And then we go to export, and instead of going to export up here, we go to export selected only. Click on that and just go to Emily here, just create a new one, 2, and the same as before. Click OK with the same configuration as before, and wait until it's exported. Done. Now let's go to 3D Exchange and reload our new Emily 2. I'm gonna pause here for a second. Well, back again in 3D Exchange, and yeah, I reloaded her. As you can see, the texture's still there, everything like before. Well, let's go directly and go to convert to non-standard. And look at this. There are no unused bones here, as you can see. And you check the list on the side here. Every bone belongs to a place. There are no unused here whatsoever. Now, for the final test, let's load our profile we made before of Emily. There we go, and test it. It's working perfectly, and there's no problem with the face whatsoever. So it's all correctly assigned. All the unused bones are gone, and you got an avatar who's working better than before. So we got a solution of one big problem. And now I want to explain you why that worked. That worked because of a simple and logical reason. You cannot select something who is hidden in 3D Exchange. When you export in 3ds Max, you go to 3ds Max and export an avatar, and do not select anything, the program automatically assumed you want to export everything who is there, and that includes even the hidden bones. But if you only export the selected, you cannot select the hidden bones because they're hidden. As the same way as you hide a mesh in 3ds Max, the mesh are not going to be exported because you cannot select it once it's hidden. So this way you fix the problem with the extra bones, because the extra bones not gonna be exported. They're gonna be ignored and left behind. And this is how you're gonna fix this problem in with the unused bones in XnaLara. So I hope that tutorial helps you, because it did really help me. Sorry for me not having too much words to say. So I'm gonna end this tutorial here, and I hope I helped you. And also I wanted to say something, and that was a couple tutorials before. I created a list in my description down below, and that list I included most of the channels I know and I am subscribed to. So the channels I recommend for every iClone user and enthusiast about animations. So I got a list of lots of channels down there. Some make tutorials, other ones just animations, and everything about iClone, or including some help channels or stuff you maybe can download and use. So there's a list of channels down here I recommend for you to check them out. Maybe you like them. So with that being said, Happy New Year to everybody. I hope you don't have a big hangover. I sure didn't have one because I wasn't up too late. And well, see you in the next video. Hasta la vista.